I believe the metaverse is the next chapter for the internet. And it's the next chapter for our company too.
So, last year Facebook announced that they're changing the company name to Meta because they're building something called the Metaverse. And I don't think that many people are talking about it after the initial hype of Metaverse or NFTs. But we should, as it's going to change my life and it's going to change your life. So we need to understand what it is, why people are excited about it, but also how it has the potential to end society as we know it. So welcome to my channel. I am Rishabh Jain and let's discover the world of Metaverse. The concept of Metaverse is this. Throughout history, we have moved towards more and more engaging mediums. We have moved from text to photos and from photos to videos. We have moved on from reading books and newspapers to spending most of our spare time streaming Netflix or watching Instagram reels. An internet that you're not just looking through a screen, but you're actually inside of. Take anything you could be doing right now, be it shopping, be it talking to friends, or learning a new recipe from a video on YouTube. And now imagine, in the time it takes you to click on that app, you could be doing these things in a way that feels real, with other people who feel present in an environment that's whatever you want it to be. That is a living, shared, everlasting virtual experience. And that's Meta's vision of the metaverse. All of this will be achieved through the combination of augmented reality and virtual reality. And Meta also mentioned that they will try to subsidize the cost of the hardware as much as possible so that maximum number of people on this planet can be part of the metaverse. And in case I was not clear, this is pretty damn cool. There are some undeniable positives. Metaverse will allow you to live out your fantasies. In a single evening, you could be fighting your way through a battle royale game. You could be playing a quiet game of chess on one of the beaches of Goa, or you could be surfing in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, all with incredible realism and also the assurance that you're actually at home and safe. And on a similar note, there's also a comfort to the idea that you can express yourself any way you want. Like now, you have a profile picture for all your social media accounts. And this image represents you to other people. But in the metaverse, you won't have just an image, you'll have an avatar, a fully three-dimensional living representation of you. But in a way you want it to be. Did you ever wish that you were 3 inches taller? Now you can be. Did you ever wish that you had a bigger forehead? Well, now you can have one. You can be any gender you want, you can be any race you want, you can be any animal or a creature that you want to be. And to be very clear, in the longer term, your avatars are not going to look like these cartoon people. I think these were used in the presentation just to make it look less creepy. As we speak, Meta is also working on the tech to create completely lifelike avatars, fully rendered with every hair on their head and every blemish on their skin. This is not a game. This will feel like real life. And what I'm saying is that this realism, combined with the amount of choices that you'll get, will allow you to feel like you're not constrained by the physical body that you were born into. In real life, you could be someone with a severe disability in a wheelchair, but in the metaverse, you'll not just be walking, you could be flying. And if you're still watching, a sub to the channel would be uplifting. And flying se yaad aaya. Another thing that will be possible in the metaverse is teleportation. Now, staying at home for the last 2 years, facing traffic jam absolutely horrifies me. But in metaverse, this traffic jams will be something of the past. Each person will have their own home space and you can design it any way you want. and you can invite people to just appear within it. Teleportation will be equivalent to clicking a link in the browser that we do today. That is, it will be practically instant, and it is much easier than teleportation in the real physical world, because here every atom in the body has to be deconstructed in real time and reconstructed somewhere else. And if we are anyway moving towards metaverse, all our meetings are anyway going to be virtual, so we don't really have to teleport physically. We would just want to be at home with our headsets.
Oh my god, I'm lost, man.
And it's not just travel that will speed up massively, it's also learning. You know how we now look at libraries as something very old fashioned. I mean, why would you want to look up something in a book when you can Google exactly what you want to know? Well, Metaverse is going to make Google look just as old fashioned. You will no longer have to type what you want to search and read about it. You'll be able to learn about things just by touching them or even looking at them. And you'll be able to obtain this information in more visual and more informative way than we've ever seen before. You'll be able to travel not just any place, but also in any time. The Industrial Revolution, the ancient Indian civilizations, or dinosaurs. Being able to actually experience living with dinosaurs. I mean, can you imagine? And if you can learn things faster, you can even do things faster in Metaverse. I think Metaverse will make us even more productive. Take the current situation. A lot of us are now working from home. We'll still be doing that in the Metaverse, but now you could be in your most optimal environment. Whether that's being surrounded by others or being completely alone, whether that's being in an office in the outer space or being in a magical jungle, it's up to you. Plus, the tech will allow us to input faster. We've all grown up writing with pens and pencils. Right now, people are all typing on keyboards. In the Metaverse, we'll be using voices, gestures, and even be able to make things happen just by thinking about them. And I'm not joking. Meta is also working on electromyographic or EMG devices, which can detect and interpret signals in the nerves. That is the signals from which your brain is telling what to do with your, for example, fingers. These input devices can translate those signals into corresponding actions in the virtual space. So in other words, you can send a message to somebody else just by thinking about moving your fingers without actually physically moving your fingers. And this metaverse hardware is not as far off as you would think. In fact, Meta is currently working on a headset codenamed Project Cambria, which is set to launch sometime in this year. And the aim of this device would be to solve two of the biggest barriers to entering the metaverse. First, that it will be comfortable enough and the display will be sufficiently close to the resolution of your eyes so that you don't feel like you're wearing a headset. And second, it will be able to track your expressions in real time. And if this can be pulled off correctly, it would mean that you can have realistic conversations with realistic body language in the virtual space. There are also a couple of unexpected benefits of the metaverse, like on the environment. I mean, producing real products is very inefficient. The production of a real car can easily result in up to 20 tons of CO2 emissions, whereas production of a virtual car, negligible emissions. And this gap in the emissions only becomes larger if we talk about potentially using the car. Now I totally understand that the concept of virtual car sounds very odd, but think about it. In the metaverse, we have teleportation. So both the virtual cars and the real cars are both as useless as each other. You drive one only if you really wanted to drive. And so what I'm saying is, as more and more people join metaverse, the more we shift towards purchasing digital goods and digital experiences. And so the fewer planes, trains, cars and ships that we rely on, the lesser will be our impact on the environment. And the final kind of exciting thing is that Metaverse will be a new economy. The Meta is developing a store inside it called the Horizon Marketplace. And it will not just be them selling things to us. It will be a platform where anyone could sell to anybody. You can create virtual clothing, you can create a virtual experience, and you can charge people to try it. You could even design a whole new world. You will no longer be constrained by the availability of physical materials. You'll only need your imagination and, well, your ability to code. Many brands have started working towards a digital experience and building digital goods. And I have no doubt that moving forward, every forward-thinking brand will make sure that they have a presence in the metaverse. And I mean, because since we are going to spend most of our time in the metaverse, and that is where we are going to actually be meeting people, then our virtual appearances and virtual homes will matter more than our physical world. So the point is that in this new world, you will also have new opportunities to earn. And if you're wondering how do we make sure that people don't just buy one copy and redistribute it, then, well, most of these transactions will happen through cryptocurrencies over technologies such as blockchain. In other words, Metaverse already has the technology in place to be able to trace the ownership of the items. The NFTs are the best examples of this. So all in all, Metaverse has pretty great selling points. The ability to be together with anyone and feel real, to be able to teleport anywhere, and to be able to create and experience anything. However, there are also some concerns that we should be mindful of. And if you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you that it has the potential to end society as we know it. So stick around for my next video where we'll talk exactly about this. Subscribe if you haven't already and press the bell icon so that you get informed as soon as the next video comes in. आज के लिए इतना ही. I'll see you in the next video.